What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so we are going to continue our coverage over Acts of Vengeance, but this time we're going to pick back up with some more Punisher. Yes, you heard that right. The Punisher was also involved in Acts of Vengeance, except he had Dr. Doom come after him. Now, before we are able to dive into today's video, I want to sit down and quickly explain what is Acts of Vengeance all about. So, when it comes to Acts of Vengeance, you had this idea at Marvel where it was kind of like, let's see our heroes go up against characters they don't usually fight against. So, for example, Spider-Man fighting against Magneto, Wolverine fighting against Tiger Shark, Moon Knight fighting against Flag Smasher. You had our heroes going up against characters they don't usually fight against. Now, when it came to bad guys, they all came together because of Loki. You see, when it came to Loki, he said, you guys keep losing to the same heroes over and over and over again. And here is the reason why. Because those heroes know how to handle you. They know how to take care of you. Why not go after a different hero who may not know how to fight against you, but at the same time, you might have the advantage over them as well. And that led into the Acts of Vengeance. Now, when it comes to Acts of Vengeance, there is an inner circle as well. The inner circle is Dr. Doom, Red Skull, the Kingpin, the Wizard, the Mandarin, and also Loki, and also Magneto as well. But the inner circle, the one who controls everything that's going on right now when it comes to Acts of Vengeance. Now, there is a good reason why I brought up the inner circle, because in the opening pages of this book, we do pick up with Dr. Doom and the Kingpin. Now, when it comes to the first chapter for the Punisher, it really seemed like it takes place at the very beginning of Acts of Vengeance. And here is the reason why. So, when it comes to Dr. Doom, he feels like he's the only person in charge of Acts of Vengeance. But then the Kingpin walks in, and that is when he finds out that other people are going to be involved. Now, real quick, something else I do want to say is that when it came to Loki, when he brought together the inner circle, he had each person believe that they were in charge of the entire operation. And by the way, you had Loki pretend to be somebody else, some mysterious guy who came to each member of the inner circle and gave them an offer to be in charge of the entire operation. But in reality, they all share that role. And so for Dr. Doom, he's all like, why in the world is the Kingpin here for? When I last checked, I was the one in charge, not you. But you have the Kingpin say, that's funny, coming from a guy who's no longer the ruler of his kingdom, no longer the ruler of Latveria. And technically, the Kingpin is right. And I'll explain more of that down the road in this video. But when it comes to Dr. Doom, he's all like, I may not be the ruler of my kingdom, but here's the thing. I know that I can handle an entire operation better than you can, Kingpin. Now, for him, the reason why he's saying that, because of two characters, Daredevil and the Punisher. Those two characters, and plus Spider-Man, has caused the Kingpin a lot of problems. And so for Dr. Doom, he's all like, I may not be the ruler of Latveria, but I still know how to run an operation better than you. You cannot stop the Punisher, and that man has cost you millions of dollars. And so you have Doom say, you know what, Kingpin? I'm going to show you how easy it is to take down the Punisher. I'm going to do it for you to show you that I am better than you are. Now, when it comes to the Punisher, you have the Punisher right now heading over to a certain location to stop a supposed arms dealer named Joe Spiff. The Punisher was able to figure out where Joe is going to be at. But here is the funny part. When the Punisher arrives at that location, he does not find Joe or anyone else there at all. Instead, he finds Dr. Doom. And you have Doom say, hey, Punisher, it was me. I'm the one who had pretended to be Joe Spiff to get you over here. Now, for the Punisher, he's very confused on why in the world you have Dr. Doom coming after him for. Because of the Punisher, Doom usually goes after characters like, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, or possibly the X-Men, but not street-level heroes like the Punisher. Now, we already saw him send Ultron after Daredevil, but For the Punisher, for his sake, he's all like, this is weird. Why in the world are you coming after me for? Now, when it comes to Doom, he tells the Punisher, oh, I came here to prove that I can take you out anytime I want to. And matter of fact, I set everything up this way so that here you will die. And so you have the Punisher freak out and say, you know what? I don't like this, and so I'm going to try my hand and attack you. Now, when he does attack Doom, we kind of find out that Dr. Doom was not here at all, that it was a Doom robot pretending to be Dr. Doom, a Doombot. Either way, once you have the Punisher realize what's going on, he has to get the heck out of there. But the problem is, he's trapped by a tank. Now, once he's able to escape, thanks to having a jetpack, you have the Punisher wondering, okay, listen, why is Dr. Doom coming after me for? This man brought a tank. This man brought a Doombot. And matter of fact, when I tried to leave with my jetpack, I was confronted by a team of guys with their jetpacks. But luckily I used smokescreen to get away. But the question is right now for the Punisher, why is Doom coming after me? Now, once you have Frank being able to get away from Dr. Doom, he goes to meet up with Microchip. Now, when it comes to Microchip, he plays the role as the tech guy for the Punisher, but also the info guy as well. Now, when it comes to Microchip, he's not happy right now because he believes that Frank is trying to go after Dr. Doom. But you have Frank say, nah, man, you got it all wrong. I am not trying to go after Doom. He's coming after me, and I have no idea why. Now, when it comes to Frank, he says, listen, I need you to find something for me to use against Dr. Doom. Basically, I need you to find something that he cares a lot for, and I can hold on to that until he agrees to get the heck off my back. And so when it comes to Microchip, he finds this very special kind of egg. That's really more some kind of artwork that's being kept inside Doom Castle. Now, here's the thing. The Punisher and also Microchip has no idea that Dr. Doom is no longer the ruler of Latveria. But either way, they still believe that he is the ruler, and they are about to break into his castle to get this special artwork to hopefully use against Doom to get him off the back of Frank. And speaking of Dr. Doom, he believes that he knows where the Punisher is at. He has no idea the Punisher had left to go to Latveria. To Dr. Doom, the Punisher is hiding out in one of his warehouses in New Jersey. And so you have Doom tell the Kingpin, listen man, I know where he's at, and I told my guys to just go ahead and blow up that warehouse. After that, the Punisher will no longer be a problem for you nor me. Now, when it comes to the Punisher, he's already in Latveria. Matter of fact, him and Microchip are able to arrive at the Castle of Doom, and they are able to find a way inside the actual castle. And so when it comes to the Punisher, he's just going through different kinds of obstacles to be able to get that one piece of artwork to use against Dr. Doom because he believes it should actually work. And so after you have the Punisher being able to take down a giant robot and also, take some guards out, he dug his hands on the actual egg. Except that is when he's confronted by 3 different Dr. Dooms. Now, to Frank, he knows that at least one of these Dr. Dooms gotta be the real person, or at least somebody else pretending to be Dr. Doom, while the other 2 are just Doombots. Now, when it comes to Frank, he does tell all 3 Dr. Dooms why he's here for. He's all like, listen, you guys attacked me first. Now, all 3 Dooms, they're very confused on why in the world Frank would say that for. Because of them, they're like, we didn't attack you. We've been here the entire time. What are you talking about? And you have Frank explain what happened to him earlier. And so you didn't have all 3 Dooms say, it makes sense now. You were attacked by a Doombot. One that we no longer have control over. You know what? I got an idea. You're going to help me. I'm going to help you. We're going to work together to get rid of that Doombot because that Doombot is coming after you, but also that Doombot is causing me a lot of problems. It's time for you and I to work together. Now, the opening pages of the next book, we do pick up with the Punisher and also Dr. Doom having dinner with one another. Now, when it comes to their dinner, you do have Dr. Doom apologize to Frank about what happened earlier when it came to the supposed Doombot that attacked Frank at the very beginning of this video. Now, you do have Frank accept his apology, but you have Frank say, hey, you know what? What if in the possibility that there is a Doombot out there being able to create more Doombots? What if there are many Doombots being able to do that right now? Being able to create more and more Doombots and could be causing more problems for you down the road. Now, when it comes to this Dr. Doom, he says, you know what? There is a possibility that those Doombots might be able to pull it off. That could be very dangerous. Now, when it comes to this Dr. Doom, he says, listen, I want you to walk with me because, like I said earlier, you are going to help me get rid of the Doombot. Now, when it comes to Dr. Doom, he does take the Punisher over to his prize museum where he can show off all the different artwork that he had collected over time. But there is a catch. You see, when it comes to Doom, he does show off this painting that he got done of his parents. But he tells us the artist who was able to complete the painting was killed off by Doom. And so you have the Punisher realize why Doom is showing off this painting by saying, you are going to help me to kill off this Doombot problem. If you don't, I am going to kill you. Now for the Punisher, he says, how do you know that I will actually help you? And you have Doom say, the Doombot gave you a hard time. Just realize that was a Doombot that gave you a hard time. I'm the real Doom here, which means that most likely, if I wanted to kill you, I will be able to kill you off so easily. But let's not forget that there is another Dr. Doom who is currently talking to the Kingpin. And matter of fact, when it comes to their conversation, it's all about the idea of the Kingpin saying, you and I are just alike, Doom. But for Doom, he's all like, no, we are not alike at all. You are a criminal. I am not a criminal. I am a king to my country. And even though right now I'm not there to rule my country, I'm still a king. You are just a criminal, and that is it. But you have the Kingpin say, well, wait a second though. Let's not forget that you have done some bad things as well to help protect your people. But as soon as you done those bad things, that also made you a criminal as well. You are just like me, somebody who is trying his best to continue on to run his operations. But you didn't have Doom saying, no, once again, you have mistaken. Yes, I have done bad things that could make me a criminal, but I did those bad things as a way to help my country, to help out my people. You do bad things to get yourself more money, to continue on to be the kingpin of crime. Like right now, look outside. There is a mob of people who want to get rid of you, not rid of me. Back in my country, my people love me. They look at me as their God. They look up to me. But down there right now, those people, they want you gone because you have committed so many crimes in this city. They're kind of like, no, get him the heck out of here. Now, getting back over to the Punisher, at first, we're kind of left to believe that the Punisher is actually going to help out Doom with his whole Doombot situation back in New York, but he doesn't. Instead, you have the Punisher begin the process of breaking out of Castle of Doom. But before he is able to leave, he has to get one item that can most likely help him to get the other Doom off his back. And so you have the Punisher go out of his way to steal the painting of the parents of Victor Von Doom. And once he has the painting, he is able to meet up with Microchip outside the castle, and they are able to leave on one of Doom's planes and get the heck out of Latveria. Now we do jump over to the other Dr. Doom, the one that's properly with the Acts of Vengeance group, and we see him talking to Loki. Now remember, no one in the actual group knows that it's Loki right there who had brought them together. He is currently pretending to be somebody else, but when it comes to Loki, he does tell Doctor Doom, like, hey man, your plans are going great right now. The whole idea of you going to Congress and getting a new law put in effect is great. Because remember, around this time in Marvel Comics, there was a law that says if you are going to be a superhero, you have to register. If you don't, you are going to prison. Now, the law has not come into effect yet, but it seems like the Acts of Vengeance group is trying to push that law to come into effect as a way to get rid of superheroes across the board. That would then allow the villains to do what they want to do. And so you have Loki saying, you know, your plans are going great, but you have Doom say, listen, the only thing I care for right now is the Punisher. I have 2 days left to prove to the Kingpin that I can take him down. So find the Punisher. Now, getting back over to Punisher, you have Punisher going out of his way to get a copy done of the painting that he stole from Doctor Doom in Latveria, and then put the copy of the painting on top of his new battle van. And here is the reason why. Because he knows if he is able to drive near a battle happening with the Avengers, then most likely there are going to be cameras there watching that battle. And he is hoping that one of those cameras is being used by Doctor Doom. And once Doom looks through that camera and sees Frank Castle driving a new battle van with a painting of his parents on top of the battle van, he knows Doom will soon come after him just like that. And so you have Frank go to a battle that's happening right now between the Avengers and also Freedom Force. And so you have Doctor Doom appear. Now, when he does appear, he's all like, listen, I see that you have one of my paintings of my parents, and I like that painting a lot. So how about this? What if you go ahead and give that painting over to me and I will leave you alone? Now, when it comes to Punisher, he's kind of wondering, is Doctor Doom telling the truth? But you have Microchip say, listen, all scan shows that Doctor Doom is telling the truth. If you hand him over the actual painting, he will leave you alone. And so you have the Punisher do that. Now, you're kind of wondering, why would Doctor Doom give up so easily? So let me explain first about the Doctor Doom in Latveria. The Doctor Doom in Latveria is actually Christophe Bernard. Let me explain here. So Christophe first appeared in Fantastic Four number 247. And when he first appeared, he became a son to the original Doctor Doom. But then there was a point where the original Doctor Doom had supposedly died. Now, when he had supposedly died, you had all these Doombots wanting to have another Doctor Doom in charge of Latveria. So they grabbed Christophe. Now, when they did, they had reprogrammed his mind to make him think that he was the real Doctor Doom, even though he's not the real Doctor Doom. So when Frank went over to Latveria and talked to a Doctor Doom, that was Christophe, not the real one. The real one is back in New York with the Acts of Vengeance group. And so when it comes to Doctor Doom, he says, listen, if my supposed clone or the new version of me over in Latveria is just like me, then I know that sooner or later he is going to come back and try to get revenge against the Punisher for stealing this painting. So sooner or later, the other Doom might handle the Punisher. But this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.